Well, hello. Quick question. Are you lazy? Do you feel like you just can't accomplish anything? Does life always seem to pass you by? Well, let me tell you, it happens to the best of us. And it's not that we're lazy, it's just that we lack discipline. So let's talk about it. That's something that I currently go through, and I probably will always go through, and I've always gone through it. A professional procrastinator, someone that lacks discipline. It's not easy. It can be quite difficult, but it is something that does happen, and it happens time and time again to the best of us. So you're not alone. And if you feel alone, pull up a chair, take out a notebook and a pen, and take some notes on the topic we're discussing today. So you're not lazy, you just lack discipline. All right, for those who don't know, I'm Ms. Originator. This is probably the first time you're ever seeing my face. Most of my listeners only get to listen to me on my podcast, Ms. O in the Mix, and I could be found on a list of places. iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, you name it, you can find my show there. Let's get into this. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate you coming and stopping by. However, if you're returning, I said, what's up? How you doing? I miss you. You know what type of show this is. I will be keeping my profanity, yes. Yeah, I know. If you know me, you know. I will be keeping that to a minimum, trying to dismantle that completely, at least for these videos, okay? I do welcome you into the space. If I do happen to cuss and you don't like profanity, my apologies. You may not want to talk to me. You might not want to listen to me. I have a tendency to go on rants. So if you're looking for a professional podcast, this is not the home for you. This is a good old friend from back in the day, sitting at your table, okay, having a cup of tea, just shooting a breeze, teaching you some things, some tips and tricks that I've used to get on with my life, to improve my life. The things that I give you here are things that I've used or I'm currently using to move me into a better version of myself. So, pull up a chair, baby. Get a notebook, a pen, or piece of paper, and let's go ahead and jump into it. However, I will say if you're driving and I say something funny, make sure you keep both eyes on the road, at least one, and both hands on the steering wheel. I don't want to be responsible for anything that you do or are not doing, okay? I also talk a little fast, so you might want to slow this down if you can. And yeah, I might get a little sidetracked. It happens. That's the way my brain works. If you see me looking down, it's because I wrote notes. Hello. I always have notes. Usually you can't see me, but for those who are watching me, yeah, I got notes, baby. So let's jump on into this, starting off with a routine, something that we all may feel like we're allergic to. Having a routine, having a consistent routine, something where we can schedule our activities, okay? So that's the first thing we want to talk about, scheduling out our activities and having this consistent routine. Now, I don't want you to be too strict on yourself, because when you try to lock in too many things onto your schedule, you begin to feel like you're stuck or like you can't breathe, you're suffocating. And we don't want you to do that. I've tried this, I've done this, I've done my schedule several different ways. I've turned it upside down, I've made it so relaxed that nothing really got done. And now I've chosen to say, like, all right, what do you do for your 9 to 5? Because you show up and you show up and you go above and beyond for your 9 to 5. However, when it comes to disciplining yourself, you tend to become lazy. Not so good, especially when you're trying to achieve goals, whether it's going back to school or trying to master something. Maybe you're trying to speak a foreign language, or perhaps you're even trying to open up your own business. You have to have discipline. Not to mention, if you're even trying to progress your future in AI, you're trying to learn these new tools because the world is changing and it's changing rapidly, and you could be learning to invest. There's so many things that having discipline is required. Like, that's a requirement. It really should be in school. We won't get on school too much, how I really feel about school, but discipline needs to be taught, because we all go through life, and I'm saying we all, because we all start off without having truly any discipline. Of course, some parents try to instill chores in us to instill some type of discipline, but it goes beyond sweeping the stairs and washing the dishes and getting your clothes clean. That's just like taking a small bite into discipline. It doesn't really prepare us for what's really out here in the world when we're by ourselves. Although those type of activities need to happen every day, like brushing your hair or brushing your teeth and washing your face and washing your body. And actually, believe it or not, some people don't even do that every day. Of course, I understand some people have medical conditions that require them not to be able to do these things. However, they still need to establish the discipline to do them. Amongst that, living, paying bills, staying fit, cooking proper meals, going food shopping. All these things require discipline. So, making a schedule and having a nice routine that is flexible is really important. Too many adults, even those that are on top of their game, when they fall off and they get stuck and they get into that mindset, oh, I'm just being lazy. No, you're lacking the discipline. Somewhere you overstimulated yourself, and now you're feeling this animosity towards your schedule or towards your own well-being, that I'm lazy. That's so negative. That's a very negative statement to use, and we use it so loosely. You're not lazy. You're just not disciplined, or you're lacking the discipline in that area. So make the schedule. And if the schedule has to change, let it change. Let it change. Maybe your routine has to change. Maybe you don't do things on specific days. For instance, I used to have Mondays off. Mondays were my day where I decided to not take really any phone calls from family or friends, to not do any chores. Dinner was always prepared. Sunday, I used Sunday mornings after I would do my laundry, or because I had to go to the laundromat back then, I would use that time once I got back to make my meals, to prep my meals for the week, or at least most of the week. This way I didn't have to worry about any of it. I could pop stuff in the oven. At the time I was a single parent of one. Okay, and it was easier actually to be like, oh, go put that in the stove, or this is what's for dinner, or pick out a container. I made lasagna and baked ziti, or baked chicken or steak, and vegetables in a different container, and it was just like, what would you like to eat? It was kind of like going to a restaurant. I tried to make it as fun as possible back then. I was much younger, but back then, that's what I tried to do. Anywho, if you fall off, don't get upset. Make that promise, not to me, but to yourself, that you won't get upset. You just start again. That's just like if you say you have this wonderful gym routine, right? And not just gym routine, let's call it a fitness routine. Something you might do when you get home. You might work out on the floor and do at home Pilates, or you're doing some type of calisthenics, or you're going to the gym and you have leg day and weight day, or you go to a HIIT cardio class. Whatever it is that you do, maybe you even walk. Okay, so here, I usually go walking, right? I go walking, and the weather has gotten really nice here in New Jersey. And so I've been walking. And then it hit 100,000 degrees. And I swear to you, I was like, I ain't going outside. I am not going outside. You could forget that, okay? One, because my asthma started acting up. And I only knew my asthma was acting up when I opened up my front door and almost passed out that day. That, hilarious, yes. Scary, yes. Two, I can't go outside and do this. I'm not going to make it. So, do I get upset? I will say I was a little annoyed because I was on the road. I was doing my thing. However, I decided to just say, you know what? Not today. We're not doing this. So, with that being said, I opted out of it. I got on the computer. I looked up a pole class, and that's when I started doing my pole thing. And for those who don't know, pole class, it's like I'm a stripper by night. No, I'm not a stripper by night. It's actually just working out on a pole as if you were an evening dancer. That takes a lot of strength. Full body. It's a full body workout. Climbing that pole, listen, if you haven't done it, men, listen up too, because there's men out there who dance on poles, okay? But listen up. Those women and men that have that as their evening career, because I don't knock anybody hustle. You got to do what you got to do to pay your bills, okay? But those people who have those as their evening career, you got to be in shape. It is hard as hell, okay? It is not easy getting up there, putting your body in these contortion-like positions. You're using muscles that you just don't normally use. You're using muscles that you technically don't use in the gym. There's so many muscles in your body, ways to move them and activate them, and you're not always using all of them if you're not doing a variation of exercises. You can walk until the cows come home, go to a pole class and try to lift your body. Go to a pull-up bar and try to pick your body weight up if you're not doing calisthenics, because you can't. It's really hard. It's really hard. You could be a person who deadlifts and weight lifts, but if you're not training your body in a calisthenics way with your body weight and doing any type of functional fitness, you're missing out on a lot of different elements of the muscles. I'm not a professional. I don't play one on TV. It's just that I was into sports when I was younger, and as an adult, I did deadlifting and other various exercises. And I'm trying to tell you, even though I might have some muscle memory, I'm not as strong as I used to be, or I can be, because I stopped doing certain things. So I have to give it to myself that I have to build in this discipline. And on top of that, understanding. So you can't have discipline without understanding. You can't. You have to understand that sometimes it's not going to work out. So you have to alter things. So as long as you move forward with that, I feel that you'll be okay. Because if you miss something one day, pick up another day, or pick up another activity, or do it in your house. I don't have a way to walk in my house. I could have went upstairs and used a rower, but I didn't feel like doing that. That's a lot of work. Making sure that thing has enough water in it. I'm not doing all that. I just was like, you know what? I'm going to relax, and I'm going to pick out this pole class that I've been wanting to do since 2014. So, waiting on other people to participate with me, and it was just never a good time for anyone. And so I went by myself and I met some wonderful people. That's another thing. Your discipline can open up doors for you to meet other individuals who are willing to actually work with you, learn with you, have fun with you. It's just you have to figure out if these are the type of people you want to be with. Now, understand. Not everybody is somebody you want to hang out with. You can work out with them, but you don't necessarily have to hang out with them. But that's a choice that you, my dear, will have to make. The third thing I like to say is, this is going to sound harsh, okay? This is going to sound harsh, my darling, but just commit to not doing it. Just understand that you decided you're going to fail at it. You're not going to do it. It's not a goal that you would like to accomplish. If no one told you that that's okay to do, let me be the first. It is okay to say, you know what, I'm not a failure. I just don't want to do this. This is not as important as I thought it was. It's not something that needs to be on my goal list right now. I don't have the time, the space, the bandwidth to deal with it. And you know what? That's fine. But the one thing you have to know is you have to live with that. Only you, not me. Taking something off your list and understanding that you're not a failure at it, you just don't have the bandwidth to handle it right now, is okay. No one needs to know, just you. And maybe if somebody else in the house with you and they say, didn't you say you were going to clean the bathroom, or you were going to fix your room and you decide not to, like, what's going on? Just say, I chose to not do this activity right now because it's not a high priority. You know, we say that at work. Why can't we say that at home? Why can't we prioritize things at home? Things that are urgent, things that are just a high priority, things are just a medium. I don't care. Color code it, like the threat system. We have a threat system. I don't know what the color code is. If anyone knows, you know, put it down in the comment section. But, you know, there's so many ways we can move about getting through this laziness and understanding that we just need to develop the discipline to do things. And even saying this just doesn't belong on my priority list is something that we can do. You just have to understand that you cannot rag on yourself. Yes, I said it. Rag on yourself that you just didn't complete the task. It's okay. It really is okay. My next thing is, what if you can't move past the fact that you feel that this thing just isn't? If it's not okay, it's not okay. And it turns into disappointment. Think about it. How many times has your laziness and lack of discipline, it is your lack of discipline. How many times have you felt disappointed? How many times has it taken an emotional toll on you, on your heart? How many times? How many times have you felt like a failure just because you couldn't get up to do the dishes? Some things lie deeper within us subconsciously, and they are our disappointments. Because it's happened time and time again. That's big. That's hard. It's not easy. But we have to face it, because disappointment is something very sensitive to us all. Feeling disappointed not feeling your best because you're not disciplined. You see how this is a full circle? With this particular subject, it's a full circle. Not disciplined. Now, what strikes me as being funny, well, not even funny, but I was a little taken back by it when I was sitting and contemplating on how do I talk to them about you're not lazy, you're just not disciplined. Because I think it's very important. I think it's something that's extremely important for you to recognize, for everyone to recognize. But when I came up with it, mind you, I was walking at the time. I was like, damn, I'm disappointed in myself. And I was like, oh, discipline and disappointment. Is my discipline a problem or my disappointment the problem? Or are they the same thing? So these are how the conversations happen up here with the 16 of us. Okay, in my head, I am a Gemini, so you got to forgive me if I go on a rant. But this is what happens. Everybody's got a tab open. Everybody has something to say. Everybody wants to know about this discipline and disappointment now and why it affects us so deeply. And why are they one and the same? Are they one and the same? Are they? Are they for you? I know one thing. Because I have not completed many tasks, I've developed this emotional disappointment within myself that I know the next time that I put this task on my list for me to do or accomplish, I'm already disappointed. I'm already disappointed when I'm writing the damn thing. I'm already flustered and frustrated and just beside myself because this task has been on my list at least 40 times and I have yet to complete it. One, maybe the time factor wasn't realistic. Two, maybe I was tired. Maybe I didn't feel well and I just tried to push myself. Maybe I was decision fatigued at the time and I just could not make another decision in order to complete this task. It happens. But you become disappointed every time you don't accomplish something for yourself. Now, when somebody else disappoints you, sometimes you can get over that, right? When others disappoint you. Sometimes being a disappointment to others, you can become very, oh, let me help you with that. Oh, let me do this. I'm going to get it done right now. But with all of those reactions, why can't we do that for ourselves? Why don't we jump on it? Jump on it and do it for ourselves. It leads back to lacking the discipline. And it's lacking the discipline to show up for ourselves. I'm trying to tell you, when you sit down and you really listen to what I'm saying, you might go, oh. And then it goes even deeper because you failed yourself repeatedly, over and over. And then you tagged on a label to yourself and said you was lazy. Oh my God. Like you made it worse. You just kept digging a deeper hole for yourselves. Digging a deeper hole. And you're not alone. You are not alone. I've done it. You've done it. Kids do it. Kids forget themselves though. After a certain age, it becomes a problem. But many people do it. Your parents did it. Your siblings did it. They still do it. Aunts and uncles, you are not an exception to the rule. You just need to become conscious of this so you can begin to master not doing it. You'll never be an exception to the rule. Get that out of your pretty little head right now. Okay? Get that out of your head right now. You'll never be an exception to this rule. However, you can master the techniques to overrule the rule. I like it. I like it. I think I like that. I'm going to keep that. So, disappointment to ourselves, disappointment to others, and being a disappointment to others. We need to have similar reactions to how we, and I'm circling because it should all be encompassed, right? Here. There shouldn't be a difference. It shouldn't be a bubble here of how we treat ourselves with disappointment when we disappoint ourselves to how we treat others when they disappoint us or when we become a disappointment to them. We need to bubble this. Bubble with boundaries. If you haven't listened to the episode, you can't watch it because I didn't record my face on it. You need to go and check out the boundaries and expectations episode. You shouldn't have them. But in this, for other people. But for yourself, you should. So, disappointing ourselves, we become so hurt. We become so hurt. But we're so hurt to the point where we dismiss it as laziness. We dismiss ourselves. So every time that particular task comes up, it is traumatic. We've turned this thing into trauma. It's like a bad relationship that fails us over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's a bad relationship. We have developed a bad relationship with ourselves in discipline because we've disappointed ourselves so many times. We are like I'm a female, so it don't even matter. I can't get all these damn titles. I'm her, she, her. Okay, so I'm gonna use him, his, he, that dude. There you go. It's like a bad relationship. Straight up, bad relationship. You know the relationship is bad for you. Why do you keep going back? You know it's going to disappoint you. Why do you keep going back? Why can't you just fix it? Not go back or speak your truth or something. Why you keep hurting yourself and suppressing how you truly feel? Why do you do those things? Why do you keep eating the food that makes you break out and you know you're going to look like a strawberry? Why do you do that? You keep hurting yourself. I'm talking about things like that. Why? It hurts so bad, don't it? It feels so good. But it feels so good to put something on our schedules that we want to do, we believe we're going to do, but we failed at it 50 times. Because we had no follow through, no discipline. But it feels good at first. Yeah, I'm going to get this done. But are you? Realistically, are you? Because you have a bad relationship with this task. You have a bad relationship with it because you failed at doing the task. And I know failed is such a hard word. It's very harsh, but it's the truth. You've let yourself down continuously when putting this task up front as a priority because you're telling the task you are this urgent priority and I'm going to get you done. And then what happens? It falls to the wayside. It's like telling somebody you're going to be my best friend or you're going to be my girlfriend and you fall down to a side chick. It's like telling the person you got first place and then When the stats come in, I'm sorry, you're not even on the scoreboard. Think about it. Every time you don't complete it, you are failing yourself. Guys, I swear to you not. I have a problem with that. I still work on this. Getting in front of this camera has been the biggest thing for me since I started podcasting. And I've been podcasting well over 5 years. I think Mizzo in the Mix has been out for maybe 5-6 years. But I've had 2 or 3 other podcasts before that. But just did not want to do this. I do tarot all day. I can pick up a cards and that took time to get consistent. And I had to stop failing myself and start showing up. And that needed to be put on the schedule. It still has to be put on the schedule. But here, and this might be something you can use. And then, we're going to get on up out of here because I've been talking for a minute and I do have a class to attend tonight. That is on the schedule. I know I'm supposed to do my tarot readings, okay? Some of you not into that. Don't judge me, judge yourselves. That's not my problem. But we won't get into that. I still love you regardless. I know I'm supposed to do these readings, right? I do them free readings. I do them for the collective free, not personal. If you want a personal reading, I am Phoenix. The Phoenix is life, okay? Or I'll put it up here somewhere. But if you want a personal reading, you can put it in the comments below and I'll let you know the information. But I'm supposed to set a schedule. So instead of me restricting myself to specific days and times, I just say every day you have 3 videos you need to do. Now, I did all 3. I've only published 1 today. Before I lay down to take my golden to sleep, I need to make sure I put out those other 2 videos on those other 2 platforms. Because 1, I'm building an audience. There are people waiting to hear. I am not consistent with time. I'm going to get better with that. But that's work in progress. And I want to tell you, and I want to be so transparent and honest with you about that, because I'm not perfection. I will never be perfection, and I don't try to be perfection anymore. I know my faults. I don't care about telling you my faults, because you need to fail in order to succeed. I'm going to fail more times than I'm going to succeed. And that's just the golden rule. So at least attempt in a soft way. You know, these things called soft launches, when people have new businesses that they're opening and they do a little launch so you could get a little taste of what the business is. Say it's an ice cream shop and they say they're going to do a soft launch. You can come in and get a cone and all this and taste 37 flavors or whatever. I don't care, whatever it is, okay? They do a soft launch. They don't even know what days they're going to be open, what times they're going to be open. They want to know if you even like it. Soft launch your schedule. You have no idea what days work better for certain things, and if you're going to be able to keep a certain task at a certain time. Flexibility matters. When it comes to discipline, flexibility matters. You do not have to stay within the lines. Color outside them bitches. Figure out what you want to do. You do not have to be so strict with yourself. You don't have to be. This is your schedule. Now, certain things can't be changed. Now, listen, let me tell you something. You make a doctor's appointment. If you don't cancel within a certain amount of time, you get in charge. Dentists, a lot of places are doing that now. Even restaurants. So, certain things you can't play around with. Or you're just going to be, excuse my language, I won't say French because it's not French. You're going to be pissing out water like it's nothing. Money flying, going. Listen, when it's your money, Put a dollar value to it. Because when it's your money, you think a little different about wasting that dollar, unless you got it like that. And when $150 copay feels like $1.50 to you, and that's nothing, then go ahead. Who am I to tell you anything different? But the rest of the world, when that $150 comes, bill comes because you were a no-show, no call, no show, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. So, when you can't complete something on your schedule, put a dollar value to it. I want you to put a dollar value to it, because usually money motivates people. So put a dollar value to that when you don't show up for yourself. And that doesn't mean you get to go buy yourself a treat the next time you actually do the task. No. Put a dollar amount to it. I don't care if it's $5, $10, $20 to everything that you complete or don't complete. Maybe you have 2 buckets of money. Maybe you have a mason jar and it says completed task, and a mason jar that says incomplete task. Maybe if you complete a task, you put $0.25 in it. If you don't complete the task, you put $1 in it. Start to see, because time is money. And the more discipline you have, the more money you should be making. I know you said, but you only put in $0.25. But if I'm not putting $1 over here in the incomplete task, then I know I still have more money in the completed task. Whether it's $0.25 in here and nothing in here. You lose more money not completing the things you're supposed to complete versus completing them and only earning a fraction of that money. It sounds wild. It sounds like she's smoking something. I'm not. I'm so serious. I'd rather have that small quarter in that completed task instead of having that dollar sitting over there in that incomplete task. Just sleep on it. Think about it. There's no pressure here. There's never any pressure at Mizzo in the Mix. Just do it, okay? That's all you gotta do is try it. Just do it. All right, guys, listen. I done ran my mouth, talked your ear off. This is the very first Mizzo in the Mix that I'm doing like this. I hope you like it. For those who are just listening to it, please head over to Mizzo in the Mix, which is on YouTube, and check out the episode. I'm there until somebody kicks me off. I do have some of my old videos on there that you can listen to that's on the YouTube, but this is the first video of myself, and I, coming to you guys. I just want to say thank you if you stayed this long. Comment below, what are some of the disciplines that you're working on? What are some of the things that you need to become disciplined in? And if you got any good tips, you don't have to be a guru to give tips. You just got to be a family friend. And here we're going to be family and friends. Don't put nothing nasty down in the comment section. And when the family and friends won't be like knuck if you buck. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm from North New Jersey and born and raised. And I believe in, if you want to smoke, you're going to get it. But I'm also nice. So, guys, with that being said, I'm out of here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, I'm out. Later. Mwah.